All right, now ladies, I have a feeling you know exactly what I'm talking about. We're talking about girl dinners today. Now, it is mostly when people, women, most of the time, just kind of scrounge up a little bit of everything. It's not a real meal, but they go ahead and call it dinner. So, health experts say this is not really a great idea. So for more on this, we are going to check in with nutritionist Toby Amador this morning to give us the scoop on what a girl dinner is and how you can make your bad girl dinner into a good girl dinner. So let's go ahead and get started. Good morning, Toby.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, we are so excited to have you. And Toby, I unfortunately, I know a little bit too much about this girl dinner. There have been some nights where I've just like made my own little mixture, my own little trail mix. And I said, well, that's gonna do it. I'm gonna go to bed.
Well, I'm gonna show you at the end my girl dinner.
Okay.
Okay.
So let's start with the bad stuff first.
Yeah. Okay. So when I'm on TikTok, I actually saw these. So the first one that I saw was pickles. Like literally, that's all she's having. So that's like a sodium fest. And then,
yes.
Hi, where's my protein? Where's my anything else? You know. So that's not a dinner.
Not at all. I don't know anything about that. I never just sit and eat pickles out the jar.
Yeah, not the best like meal.
Yeah. Okay, so what about this chips and guac? I do that too.
Right. So that's more of a snack, but the way it was shown on TikTok was large portions.
Yes.
So it's a good snack if you want it. You can have some tortilla chips and then you have like a quarter cup of guac with that. That's okay. And then she had a diet soda, but this is a large portion and that's not dinner.
Yes.
Dinner, you need to have balance, and we're not seeing that in these first two things.
Okay. Now this one, I see that we have the protein with the eggs and the cheese and the fruits. I think that one might be better, but is it really?
Right. So you would think it's definitely more food and better balanced than the first two. But the American Heart Association says basically no more than 1 egg per day. So we don't want to, yeah. So let's take 1 egg off. You have the dairy, but remember, you also want vegetables. You have your protein there, you have your fruit there, and you want some sort of carb, which is not there. And the strawberries, 8 strawberries or 1 cup is a serving, and you don't even have a cup of fruit, and 85% of Americans don't meet the recommended amount of fruit. I wouldn't give it, I'd give it like a C.
Okay, all right, so let's go ahead and get you up to speed with what you should be doing. We spent enough time on what not to do, and I have to say these alternatives look really tasty, so go ahead and give us the rundown.
Okay, and by the way, I love, first of all, girl dinner could be person dinner, because my son in college will do something like this too.
Yeah.
So I used the guac idea, but what I did was just an avocado, or if you have leftover guac, you can make avocado toast.
Love that.
Right, everything bagel you put on top is like the best.
Yes.
A little protein from the egg. You have your dairy and the cheese. Your cherries are your fruit. Your tomatoes are your vegetable. That's a well-balanced meal, and it's not too much.
All right, and kind of have like the same thing going on here. The full serving of strawberries, your carbs from your crackers, your veggies, the protein,
and the hummus, right?
All right, now this looks tasty. What do we have going on here?
Okay, this is this is what I do.
Toby's
girl dinner. So I like the baguette. Clearly, I don't eat the whole baguette, but I'll have a baguette. I'll put some date jam or some sort of jam that I like, and then I'll put a nice hard cheese on it, just a little bit, so I'm not eating the whole thing. And then I have some almonds and some vegetables and some dried fruit and a glass of wine.
Awesome. Well, we appreciate you joining us this morning. Now, if you need some help putting your girls' dinners together and you want to add some more veggies, Toby has a book coming out, Up Your Veggies. So get some help with that.
Thanks so much.
All right. Thank you, Toby.